I created this podcast because high-powered, high-achieving women are tired of being told to settle or to choose between things like success, happiness, love, fulfillment. Like, they already know how to win, but deep down, they crave full permission to have it all. The Smoke Show is my unapologetic invitation for you to step into even bigger dreams, embrace the full life that you secretly desire, and also claim every part of your power without guilt. I'm giving you the permission to stop playing small because I know you're capable of even more. And so today we're getting right into it with a question I've been asked probably a million times, and that is, what exactly is a smoke show? The amount of times I get asked that is hilarious. But not just the term, but the woman, the energy, the entire way of moving through the world. So let's talk about what makes a woman not just successful, but magnetic. A true smoke show. Let's start with something that we need to clear up immediately. First of all, being a smoke show has absolutely nothing to do with being a size 0, okay? A smoke show is an energy, a presence, a woman who walks into a room and shifts the entire dynamic without saying a word. A smoke show, it's not just about looks. A woman becomes a smoke show when she fully owns her confidence, her ambition, and presence without apology. She walks into any room and immediately commands attention, not because she's loud, but because she radiates this undeniable power, self-worth, and magnetism. And being a smoke show means she knows who she is and she refuses to shrink. She's wildly ambitious and deeply self-loving. She's attractive not just because of beauty, but because of her boldness, because of her authenticity and her unstoppable energy. She refuses to believe she has to sacrifice whatever, whether that's love or money or health or success or freedom. Like, she believes she really can have it all, but not only that, that she's worthy of all of it. And she's magnetic because she knows who she is, she goes after what she wants, and owns her power without holding back. A smoke show is a woman who's already on fire. But the thing is, like, she's only getting hotter, richer, happier, and more powerful. And so this podcast is about handing those women the mic and saying, you're not crazy for wanting it all. You were made for it. Now, really quick, let's talk about the look, okay? Because I do think that there is this ridiculous notion out there that women should downplay their hotness, so to speak, for lack of a better term, to be taken seriously, right? Can we demolish that idea right now? A smoke show owns her hotness without apology. She does not try to tone it down for fear that she's going to offend others. Okay, so now what does a smoke show do exactly? First of all, you understand that your appearance is a strategic tool. It's not vanity. It's about intentionally creating an impact when you walk into a room. You stop viewing being a smoke show or hot as something you're doing for others. No, honey. Like, it is your armor that makes you feel unstoppable in your own skin. And I'm sorry, but the truth is, looking good and feeling good will make you show up differently. You will show up as a better human with this undeniable energy. There's 100% truth to that. You cultivate the inner confidence to match that external presentation. And being a smoke show is not just about looks. It's the conviction that you deserve to take up all the freaking space. By the way, I just got to say this. When someone implies that you're too much, whether it's, too sexy, too intimidating, too successful, right? You're doing too much. You recognize it as their discomfort because they lack that kind of power within themselves. So take it off the table because it's not a valid criticism. And speaking of that, you never dial yourself down to make mediocre people or angry people more comfortable because their discomfort with your radiance is information about them, not a reflection of you. And by the way, you know what I've noticed? I may get some hate for this, but oh well, it is what it is. I do think that men in power are not asked to tone it down, are not asked to make themselves less to be taken seriously. They don't get the same treatment. Just throwing that out there. But the most powerful women I know, they do not apologize for their magnetism. They weaponize it. And they understand that commanding attention through their appearance is not shallow, it's strategic. A smoke show knows exactly what she wants. She is decisive by nature. She doesn't waste energy and time second guessing herself. She evaluates, she decides, and she moves forward, right? Without this emotional guilt or doubt. She's just done feeling stuck. And even if there are certain situations where she's in her feelings, because let's be honest, we're all women, we're all human, and that is 100% to be expected. But she doesn't stay there for very long because she knows that her results are her responsibility. She also knows her non-negotiables in every situation, which also eliminates 90% of the deliberation that most people get trapped in. Where are my overthinkers at, right? How many of you know someone that overthinks everything and can never make a freaking decision? Are those types of people out there, creating a life that they actually want, creating a life that they love? No. Why? Because they're too busy still thinking about it. So she views decisive action as her competitive advantage. So while others are spending time weighing their options, like she's already done it. She's already been there, done that, captured the opportunity. But she also does not feel obligated to explain her reasoning to everyone. Hey, it's Kattie Fleece, head of the female division of Supra Human and your host here on Smoke Show. Listen, if you've been waiting for a sign to go after your strongest, fittest, hottest body, this is it. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need anyone else's permission. It's time to claim the body and the life you deserve. Go to smokeshowbody.com and take the first step toward building the ultimate version of you. Now back to the show. Now, here's what smoke shows don't do. First of all, they don't apologize for taking up space or having opinions. They don't waste time justifying their decisions to the people who haven't earned the right for an explanation. They don't engage in petty drama or gossip because they're too focused on bigger objections. Now, listen, I know we're girls and sometimes that's good for the soul. I get it. But you know the type of people that I'm talking about, and that's all they do, okay? Smoke shows don't do that. They don't chase validation from people who they would never ask advice from. One of my favorite quotes of all time, honestly, I don't know who first said it, maybe Kobe Bryant, possibly, but in fact, my pastor at our church used this just a few weeks ago, but I love it. I come back to it all the time, and it's this: never take criticism from someone you wouldn't seek counsel from. So good. They don't tolerate disrespect. They don't take interest in small talk when they have more important things to focus on. They don't ask or wait for permission. They move, they go, they don't overthink because they know it's their life and nobody else's. And they definitely don't try to be likable and understand that they will not be everybody's cup of tea, and that is perfectly okay. If you want to live a miserable life, then be someone you're not. Try to please everyone and be liked by everyone. That is the quickest way to misery when you're constantly concerned about pleasing everyone else around you. They don't downplay their success to make others feel better about their mediocrity. They don't stay in situations where their value is consistently underestimated. They don't second guess decisions once they're made. They evaluate the outcomes and they adjust. They adjust forward. And the most powerful smoke shows have mastered the art of elimination. They've ruthlessly cut out behaviors, cut out people, cut out obligations that no longer serve the life that they're trying to live and that drain their energy. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about the smoke show's approach to relationships. This ought to be an interesting one. She is not looking for someone to complete her or to fix her or to save her. She wants a partner that finds her strength magnetic, not threatening, who adds value to her already complete life. She wants a partner who gets genuinely turned on by her power, not intimidated by it. Someone who watches her command a room and just think like, that's freaking hot, instead of feeling threatened. She wants someone who sees her ambition as attractive, not something to compete with or something that they have to tame. They need to contribute something meaningful that she can't give herself. Emotional depth, new perspectives, complementary strengths. But this does not always mean that they are masculine in their relationships. I know for me personally, I have a very masculine personality when it comes to business, when it comes to making decisions, or getting shit done, making money, etc. But when I'm at home, I am in my feminine. I want to be treated like a queen. Ask my husband. I want my car door opened. I want my hand held when we're walking down the street. I want my husband to tell me I'm pretty. I don't have any qualms like admitting that. I am all about my kids when I'm at home, which brings out a completely different side of me. I want my house to feel cozy. I want it to smell nice. I want there to be candles lit. It's not all masculine energy, only certain aspects. Okay, lastly, let's talk about what being a smoke show means as a lifestyle. It is a daily practice rather than a destination. It means making decisions based on your long-term vision, not immediate comfort. So that could look like, saying no to opportunities that maybe aren't aligned with your goals, even if they're, flattering. Investing into your physical health, not for aesthetic reasons, which that is a great goal, but because energy, mental clarity, they're all competitive advantages. And that also looks like creating boundaries around your time that others might get offended by or might look at them as selfish. Okay? So before we wrap this up, let's bring it all together. Being a smoke show means you've stopped asking permission to take up space. You've eliminated the need for external validation. You've developed the confidence to stand firm in your convictions without needing validation from others. You've cultivated a presence that commands respect without demanding it. You've built systems and put those systems in place that support your ambitions rather than hoping for motivation. You've curated relationships in your life that energize you rather than deplete you. And most importantly, being a smoke show means recognizing that the world has enough people pleasers, enough compromisers, enough women who shrink themselves to fit into spaces that they were never designed to be in the first place. What the world needs, what your industry needs, what your team needs, what the women coming up behind you need is your full, unfiltered brilliance, your unapologetic ambition, your refusal to play small. That's what makes a smoke show. And that's what this podcast is all about. Thanks for tuning in. Stay strong, stay strategic, stay unapologetic. This is Smoke Show.